Welcome, residents, to the Dr. DC podcast. My name is producer Richard, and across from me is the doctor himself.
Ralphie.
With the jizz? No way.
Oh, man. Miss Frizzle TikTok has found me again.
Yeah, truly.
And
it's got a hold on you, and you've got on yourself.
I'm going to magic school bust.
Holy shit. A field drip? No way.
Oh, no. Jesus. Good Lord.
Yeah, I'd like to fly inside of her body.
Yeah, you might get baked into a cream pie. You brought the magic school bus.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, wow.
We're in the right headspace.
Yeah, no, we're
baby.
there.
I was going to ask you something. I totally forgot.
Uh-huh.
Well, I'm sure that was good.
Yeah, we're there. Right mindset.
Any, good life to talk
Are you okay?
for us?
Are you having a
Between-
stroke?
To talk us between?
Are you having a stroke? I'm really worried about you.
Listen, I'm having a few strokes with Miss Frizzle. Listen, I just love knowledge.
Sure.
Carnal knowledge.
Yeah. Each week we talk about the weird and wonderful world of DC while fielding questions from listeners like you.
That's right.
Mr. Mustapha.
Why are you singing cats? Oh, right.
Yeah.
The theme. You know what? Listen, the third episode of Bonding Time only just came out a few days ago.
Yeah, you and your wife's bondage time.
But what's the third Bond movie? It's Goldfinger. And who features in Goldfinger? Pussy Galore.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
That's our theme this week. We're talking about cats. Cat theme.
Yes.
Cat theme characters, cat powers, all that kind of stuff. You've been picking themes lately. We're doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing it. I don't hate it.
You know, when put on the spot, Daddy can perform.
Well,
as long as I'm not too hot, I'm not too tired.
yeah, if I don't have a fever.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's always true. I think I was trying to say headache, but I said fever.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, you keep going. I'm gonna look at Miss Frizzle.
Well, why don't we get into the episode and answer all the questions that we've got?
Rock the river of lava.
All right. Well, we're going over to Facebook.
I mean, it's just
Going to the face and the book.
to the face and the book. Going to the
Jesus.
Facebook.
I didn't actually think you were doing that.
I was a little bit.
Good God.
Hey, who says two friends can't get torqued up around each other?
Look, don't you think I know what makes my friend come?
Yeah. I'm going over to Richards to watch a movie.
Yeah. Why are you bringing the DVD set of Magic School Bus?
Don't ask any questions.
Yeah. Did you play the PC game, the space one?
Oh yeah, that was good.
That was a good game.
Hell yeah.
Good game.
That was solid.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Face in the book, going to the Facebook.
Yeah, if you went up, down, left, right, you'd see upskirt of Miss Frizzle.
Yeah, I had
It's a Kojima's Magic School Bus.
Hideo Kojima's Magic School Bus would be dizzying.
Yes.
Oh God.
All right, first question comes from Kyle.
He would learn some fact like it takes an hour for your blood to circulate all around your body, and then it would take an hour in game to get around fucking Ralphie.
Absolutely. Yeah. And he's just a little kid. It'd be easy to get around him.
Easy. Yeah.
Kyle
listen, I need you to focus up and be like ready and on, because we're talking pussy today.
Yeah, we're doing things that are appropriate.
This is our pussy episode.
Yeah, we're being clean and appropriate.
Clean and appropriate. That's why we're talking pussy.
Yeah.
All the pussy.
First question.
Pussy
Fuck,
galore.
marry, kill.
Yeah, first question. Good start.
Selena Kyle, Barbara Minerva, and Ted Grant.
Okay. Selena Kyle.
Yeah.
Catwoman.
Yeah.
Barbara Minerva, the cheetah. Ted Grant, Wildcat. Ooh, those were all pretty good. Have you seen that guy that like does the like how to talk to cats?
Yes.
On TikTok? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's start with a super respectful question. Fuck, marry, kill. Selena Kyle, Barbara Minerva, Ted Grant.
Yeah.
I think I'm killing Ted Grant.
Yeah, obviously. I think it is canon
of those
lore,
options.
canon lore on this podcast that Ted Grant is a right wing nut. Remember?
Oh yeah, I forgot that we did that to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Ted Grant is the sort of person that would unironically say the word snowflake.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So I think kill Ted Grant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I think it's gotta be marry Selena Kyle,
obviously,
because that's
yes.
I mean, it's mostly because you got to fuck a cat lady.
Yeah,
I didn't have my sexual awakening to Nala for no reason.
I mean, truly, you had the opportunity. You're not gonna do it.
I'm gonna say any names, but I'm gonna blow up my friend's spot. I had a friend come to visit me and stay with me last week. Him and his partner. And we were showing them around town. We were out at like the canyon or something, and I don't even know how it came up. And he was like, "Man, Nala," and I was like, "Fucking
Serious?
thank you." And then his partner was like, "Yeah, they draw her sexy," and I was like,
oh
I was like looking around. I was like, "Where the fuck is Richard?" I was so angry. I was like, well, "Let me record this or something."
That's hilarious.
Yeah. My people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And of course, you can't marry Barbara Minerva. She just can't be in a monogamous relationship. She's a cheetah.
Listen, A, I love that. B, do you remember anything about Ben Johnson?
Who's Ben Johnson?
Ben Johnson was a Canadian sprinter from the 80s.
Okay.
And he like an Olympic sprinter or whatever.
Yeah.
But it came out that he cheated. Like he was doping or something.
Oh, I can see where this is
going.
going.
And then years later, on like CHCH or like one of those channels, he was doing ads for an energy drink called Cheetah, and his tagline was "I cheetah all the time." Wow. He got fucking Ben Johnson to say "I cheetah all the time."
That's incredible.
Isn't that great?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Ben Johnson, man.
All right, let's go to the next question.
Sure.
All right, next question. Who'd you rather fuck?
Yeah. It's like, so now you've decided who you fuck. How would you do it?
Who would you let step on your fucking neck?
I mean, we've had that question, and it's just, how am I supposed to pick?
Yeah, truly. I want all of them.
I'm only one man with only one neck. And it can only take so much. And I would love,
I don't know, it's a pretty
I would love to hit that limit.
It's a pretty big neck.
Easy. Careful, you might hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I can talk the talk, but clearly not walk the walk.
Oh, interesting. What's this feeling? It's tight in my chest. Like I feel like I might cry or something.
I mean, tight in the chest, it could really be a number of things.
Fair. He's got a point.
All right, next question comes from Stephen Marion Almagro.
Oh, very nice.
Who asks, please talk about Teakle.
So Teakle is do you know Clarion the Witch Boy? Teakle is Clarion's familiar.
Yes.
So, the idea of a magical familiar is like an animal, not just a sidekick or a pet, or one that accompanies you, but you're sort of bound together. You're kind of like two parts of a whole. You deal with familiars in all sorts of kind of like magical lore. It's usually witches have familiars and stuff like that, but also like like the Golden Compass series is all about like people and familiars, right?
Sure.
Like, there's all that kind of stuff. So Teakle is Clarion's familiar. So It's a magical entity. It takes the form of a little cat, but it can they have a psychic link. I think it can sense like ghosts and death and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it can also grow to like a giant kind of like tiger form and attack
awesome.
and stuff like that. There's there's a great version of Teakle and Clarion on Young Justice. That's probably the version most people are familiar with. But yeah, Teakle is like a familiar, a sort of little orange cat that belongs to Clarion.
Cute.
Yeah.
Love it. All right. Next question comes from Josh Wiley, who asks, you have to pitch a one-shot story about Dexstar where he switches cores for whatever reason you choose. Right. What's your pitch? Mine would be that Dexstar comes into contact with the cat from Gaiman's A Dream of a Thousand Cats.
Oh, shit.
He's inspired with hope, and he receives a blue ring, much to Atrocitus's amusing's disapproval.
Fuck. Man, dropping fucking Gaiman in there is that Dream of a Thousand Cats is fucking beautiful. That's the one. If did you finish the Sandman show? Did you finish watching that?
No, God no.
Okay. If you don't remember from the comic or you've never read it or whatever, there's this one little one-shot chapter in Gaiman's Sandman where it's these cats gather at night. And this one like elder cat kind of regales them with the story of the world the way it was once before when cats ruled and humans were the pets.
Oh, wow.
And stuff like that. The idea is that it's trying to inspire the cats to dream. And if enough of them dream of the way things were, it might turn reality back again.
Yeah.
And Morpheus, the Sandman, takes the form of a cat. It's just one of those things that builds out that world of Morpheus where he's the Lord of Dreams for all. He's the god of dreams for Martian Manhunter, who recognizes him. He's, the dream. So he's dreams for aliens. He's dreams for creatures. He's dreams for anything and everything. He's the idea of dreams. So that Dream of a Thousand Cats is a really interesting little, such a better version of a thing like Cats.
Yes.
It's what I wish Cats was.
Yes.
The idea of Dexstar encountering that cat and learning that, like, yeah, maybe humans hurt you, but cats won't. And that kind of inspiring Dexstar and get the hope ring and leave the red rage behind. That's interesting. That's a really good pitch. I like that a lot.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I don't know that I have a better one than that. Yeah. Yeah, that's
all right, I've got one.
Okay, hit me.
So, Dexstar meets Superman.
Okay.
And Superman, I'm gonna do what I think Superman should be, which is the hope that I think he's intended to be. But he basically meets Dexstar and sees all of this anger and frustration, and basically it's like an alien who loves humans and a cat that hates humans, and it's basically like Dexstar's like, look, my issue isn't with you, it's with humanity. Like, this is what they made me into. They deserve to be punished. Right. And so Superman basically like walks him through trying to show him like the value of humanity, and doesn't really get across to him. And so he's like, all right, you want to like punish humanity? And he basically like tries to help him get to the point where he can like punish the people that hurt him. Right. Realizing that the lives that family has touched has just made things much, much worse. Right. And basically shows Dexstar that like all the anger is never going to make anything better, and that like the people that cause other people harm have so much more worse things happen to them. It's not worth it, and that makes Dexstar become an Indigo Lantern. See,
I like that. I like that idea of like maybe like Dexstar like helping other cats. So it's kind of, you like that idea of yours is great. That idea from the first pitch is really good because Dexstar, for those who don't remember, is an Earth cat. Yeah. Who gets whose owner gets killed, and then it gets abused on the street and gets drowned and shit like that, and then he gets a red ring. It'd be great for it to, via Superman, via the cat from Sandman, via whatever. I think I would go the Compassion Lantern too. Like I'm glad you went there with the Indigo one. Yeah, kind of like become like a cat protector. Like, it's so funny to have a cat on a core, but it's just fighting the other humanoids and that. It's like there's like it'd be great to have like that idea of like there's a cat hero.
Well, it's like what
they don't concern themselves with the human world; they're helping cats.
It's kind of
I
like
kind of like that.
What they did with like, I mean, you still haven't seen it yet, I don't think, but with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 with Rocket.
No, I haven't. No,
what they do with Rocket is like very much in line with that, and I think like that concept really speaks to me.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
All right, next question. It means we're leaving Facebook and heading over to Threads.
Threads.
Oh yeah, that's right, the new one.
It's easy.
First question.
That was easy.
What is that from?
The Staples commercials
right.
with the big red button.
Yes,
that was easy.
First question comes from Cryptomite, who asks, "What is your favorite portrait of Wildcat? I thought Batman the Brave and the Bold version was too silly, but Arrow's version was too serious. I believe if Stargirl had Ted, they could have found the perfect balance."
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right generally in all of those points, but it's not a surprise. The Brave and the Bold as a cartoon is silly. So to be like that Wildcat is silly is like,
no shit.
Even the ones that aren't silly characters on that show are more silly than they would be in anything else. So that's one thing. The one on Arrow bugs me because I didn't necessarily hate the portrayal, but they made him young. They made him like a contemporary of Oliver instead of someone older who could like be like Ted is to Ollie and Dinah or to Batman or to whatever. So that bugs me.
Yeah.
Is that they didn't make it a generational thing. Stargirl absolutely would have crushed it because Stargirl got so much right about the Justice Society and those characters and their legacies and that. Obviously we have Yolanda Montez Wildcat in Stargirl. We don't really see Ted Grant. We see him like very brief, I think, in the flashbacks of the original Justice Society before they get killed by the Injustice Society.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, that show absolutely would have crushed it because they got so much right about those characters anyway. Where I'm going with this is, if we're talking about outside of comics, my favorite portrayal of Ted Grant has to be the one from Justice League Unlimited. That's a good version.
Oh, okay.
We see him a little bit in the context of Dinah and Ollie and a superhuman fight ring run by Roulette. And like a superhuman fight ring, Wildcat's been wrapped up in that before. He and Batman, in the Chuck Dixon Batman, there's a story with a superhuman fight ring and Wildcat's involved there. So all of that stuff. But like that cartoon probably has the best out of comics version of Wildcat. Totally. Of Ted Grant Wildcat.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from JVideo13, who says,
"Listen, I'm going to be making 13 J videos, Miss Frizzle."
Only 13.
The lucky number.
Who deserves to go to the heavy side layer? Who is the most jellical? Follow up, recast cats, but with feline DC characters.
I mean, I don't even remember what jellicle means. They're all trying to get to fucking cat heaven or some bullshit. I don't know who's the most jellicle, but I will attempt casting cats with feline DC characters.
Okay.
Jesus, I should look up the characters for cats.
Mr. Mistopheles.
I just realized that I was like, who are all of the cats? What are all of them?
Start with your daughter's favorite, Mr. Mistopheles.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to do two things at once here. Okay, Mr. Mistopheles is a magical cat, so I guess something like Teakle.
Sure.
Already a magical entity, put Teakle in there. Skimbleshanks is the railway cat. That might not be a. Do you know what though? I actually think Mr. Mistopheles, you could also go Catwoman, because there's this idea of like in the song, Mr. Mistopheles is always like lifting things, like stealing things.
Oh, sure.
And so Catwoman is not a bad thing to throw in there, I think. Jesus Christ. There's so many fucking cats in this show. I don't remember what half of these do. Bustopher Jones is a big old cat. Ugh, God, I hate this. McCavity. Okay, so McCavity is like he's like the bad one. I don't remember how it works in the original stage musical, but when we watched the movie, McCavity was Idris Elba. He was like fucking Satan or some bullshit. So McCavity is like a bad guy one and devious and things like that. So if that one wasn't Teakle, if we kind of moved them around, maybe like Catman or here's another like bad cat. I'm not sure. Jesus Christ. Oh, I hate this question so goddamn much. I don't fucking know, man. Grisabella is, I guess, the cheetah, because she hates being around. She hates herself, and she wants to die. So yeah, the cheetah. That's Grisabella. Rum Tum Tugger. I don't even remember what his fucking bullshit was. Jenny Any Dots. I don't remember what her bullshit was. Rumple Teaser. Who could give a shit? Yeah, I don't know. I did like 4 of them. I think that's fine. I really phoned it in.
Cool.
By the way, you're now perma-blocked for asking about cats.
Unless you give me some J videos, like 13 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Frizzle only.
Frizzle only.
All right. Next question comes from...
Actually, sorry. I just want to pause you there.
Yeah.
I'm going to need payment.
What do you mean?
Hand it in. You know what I've done. I want the payment.
Oh, that doesn't count. That wasn't 10 minutes. Nope, that's not 10 minutes. That doesn't count.
Sure felt like it.
No, it was not 10
minutes. I think you
should
pay up.
Nope, that was like 2 minutes.
I want people to try and guess how long you were out of the room.
You only did 4 cats? I'm sure it wasn't that long.
And it took forever.
Did not take
it's
10
not
minutes.
Good.
It's not 10 minutes. That doesn't count. I get what you're going at. Not 10 minutes.
Fine.
I've got other uses for that.
Fine. So help me God, if you use that at Fan Expo, I will end your family line.
I've got thoughts around that card.
If you use it at FanX, I will not stop killing you. If you make me vamp for 10 minutes live
with like a famous guest or something,
I mean, it is also the funniest possible option. But I'll be so angry.
All right, next question. Ty Jarris, who asks, are there any mythical cat characters in DC?
Oh, mythical ones. Yeah, there's like Bast, like the Egyptian sort of cat god.
Oh, sure.
Bast is in there, and another version of Bast called Bastet that we saw in the Dr. Fate series that introduced Khalid Nassour, like the current Dr. Fate. The Bastet was like a sort of supporting character, this little kitty cat that followed around, but was like giving advice on.
Sounds like a French character for some reason with a name like that.
Bastet?
Yeah.
Oh, c'est moi, Bastet. I mean, if you said that in French, it means like lower your head. Bastet. It means like a low head.
Frizzle.
Listen, I would kill for some Bastet. Jesus Christ. So disrespectful.
Yep. Cartoon, it's fine.
Yeah, you're right. It's not even a person.
Oh my God. So far the other way.
Just immediately.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean there is a kind of mythical like a magic, it's like a cat god.
Sure.
Bast is. I mean Barbara Minerva is not mythical, but her powers, like what transforms her into the cheetah, comes from a sort of mythical magic. She was the quote champion, but now it's been retconned that she's actually like one of the wardens of the plant god Urtzkartaga.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's like a sort of like old god magic that turns her into the cheetah. That's not like a cat of myth necessarily, but she is tied to like magical forces. I mean, the same kind of thing is true also of Marilyn Bronson, who's like she hooks up with Wildcat with Ted Grant, but she was like a werecat. She had some kind of like, but hang on. But her thing was, it wasn't the moon. I think it was like when she got her period, she would turn into a werecat.
Weird.
I think. But she's the mother of Tom Bronson, Ted Grant's son, Tomcat, who could turn into like an actual kind of cat person. Again, that's a mythical one, but like I don't remember like if there was like a whole subspecies of cat people, or if it was just them and it was like a magic curse or like a wizard did it, or I don't remember that. But yeah, there are some like vaguely mythical cats about.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right. Let's leave Threads and head over to Instagram.
Now we're going to Instagram. Take some questions and answer them.
Really like not on point.
Sorry, I was frizzed out there for a second.
All right, you owe me back.
Yeah, hell yeah.
All right, first question comes from Robbie's Just This Guy. We're good with that.
Listen, I'm tired of trying to pick you up, man.
Yeah.
If you don't believe it, why should I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? You are just this guy.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking believe it yourself, man.
He's a lawyer. He's just this guy.
Whoa. Did you just say whoa there?
Yeah.
I didn't see your mouth move, but I could have sworn I heard the second voice.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Are you?
I'm fine.
I'm genuinely worried about you tonight.
I'm sure it's fine. I'm in a weird mood, man.
Cool.
I'm in a weird. I'm sorry. I'm ruining the pussy episode.
Yeah, come on. I made this for you.
Yeah. Sorry. I'll do it. I'll do it for the puss.
Do it.
I'm here.
Do it doucement.
Do it doucement. Do it very slowly.
Catman ever try to seduce a member of the Bat fam? I mean, Batman does have a thing for cat peeps. A Catman / Tim Drake story could be pretty fun and potentially less vanilla than John Kent and / Jay Nakamura.
Yeah, I mean, I don't fully understand how the Superman Jay Nakamura thing is relevant.
Is Catman gay?
He's bisexual.
Oh, sure. So I think he's just saying like,
so Catman Thomas.
He thinks it could be a more interesting like sexual story.
I mean, yeah. I just want to be clear though. Like, it's fine to have a relationship that's like quote vanilla.
Yes, I'm
portrayed.
Sure. I'm sure that they're not saying it's not okay.
I can't believe they would come here and say that fucking poison.
Yeah, after the things we've said in this episode.
I would never. I'm above reproach.
Yeah. Gays can have vanilla sex, but now let me talk about what I want to do to Miss Frizzle and a cat.
Let me shock and appall you. I'm pretty sure that Catman, because Catman as a character has been around for a while. So his name is Thomas Blake. And he's, like a crook, a criminal. And he it was sort of jokey because it was like the 60s or some shit when he was invented. He had catarangs and like he has a cape and like he dressed kind of like Batman, but cat style. If that tracks.
Kitty style. It's when you do it outside and you go,
yeah. And it's barbed.
Jesus.
I'm pretty sure he had an adventure or two with the original Batwoman, the Kathy Kane one. I don't know if that was ever like flirty or romantic though, but that might be the closest thing I can think of to like an actual kind of flirt with the Bat fam. Although you got to put Catman in a category with Midnighter in terms of they would love to flirt with Nightwing.
Sure.
Doesn't mean anything's going to come of it, but they would fucking love to flirt with Nightwing.
Yeah, who
I think
wouldn't?
Catman and Nightwing would be like in that exact category of like with Midnighter.
Yeah.
I don't think Catman and Tim Drake specifically make a lot of sense. I think that just got thrown out because Tim Drake is bisexual.
Oh, sure.
And Catman's bisexual.
Yeah.
But I like character-wise, there's no reason for them to have anything in common. Like I actually,
not that you need something common to bang it out.
well, that's right. We're not going to be fucking vanilla like Superman and Jay Nakamura.
Look, he's not
We're
trying
gonna fuck.
he's not trying to fuck his personality.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't think those. I don't think that makes sense. I think that makes less sense than Catman hitting on Bruce.
Sure.
Like I think that makes way more sense.
Yes.
But yeah, Catman's kind of an interesting character. There was a point in time too where it was sort of like he dubiously maybe had powers. He could kind of get like he would sort of do a kind of like claws teeth thing, almost like Timberwolf in the Legion of Superheroes. Okay. And he'd be strong and shit, and he like lived with lions, like and stuff like that. Okay. But I can't remember like where we're at with him right now. But yeah, I mean, he's a cool character. He's interesting, and he had a kind of anti-hero turn from his old kind of just like crooking days. Here's a fun fact though: Catwoman hated him.
Well, yeah, I love that.
Like stealing her gimmick, basically. Catwoman hated him.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from Copy801, who asks, how can we make Streaky great again?
Streaky the Super Cat? Was Streaky ever great?
Well, yeah, like in the way that 1950s were great, I guess.
Yeah. When was the last time Streaky was great?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you could say certain things.
Yeah, when Streaky was allowed to do whatever he wanted.
Streaky used to be allowed to say a lot more on stage.
Yeah.
I mean, Streaky the Super Cat's fine, but really, I mean, God, you start really getting into like the drag, Beppo the Super Monkey, and I'd much rather see a proper resurgence of Comet the Super Horse stories.
Hell yeah.
Because Comet is like not really a horse, but not really a man. Like a space centaur,
sure.
From Supergirl's dreams.
Yeah.
Like I'd much rather.
Whose horse is that?
Whose horse is that? I'd much rather see Comet stories come back than Streaky. But I do think that it's nice to just see like little hints of Streaky as like Supergirl has a pet at home. She doesn't have Crypto because other people have Crypto.
Sure.
But she has Streaky. I like seeing the character, but I don't need to see Streaky adventures is what I'm trying to say. I like it as a little reference, but like there's no version of me where I'm like yearning for a Streaky the Super Cat story ever.
After I have too much ice cream, I have Streaky adventures.
Yeah. Oh, right, because you're lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
Man, Dairy Dogmas is going to be great. I fucking can't wait. Really? I'm going to make you chug eggnog.
I really need to figure out a new solution.
Nope. This is it. If this is it, ooh, please drink the milk.
I'm gonna die.
And I'm gonna shit. If this is it, ooh, you're gonna shit. Ooh, it's dairy.
This is the problem. It's the same thing. It's just like when it's too good, I want to just join in.
Your weakness is comedy.
Yeah. All right. Next question comes from Nick Durr.
Okay.
Who asks?
Yeah, you got to say that one slowly.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who asks? Ted Grant's son has cat powers.
Right.
Can you talk about Tomcat?
Yeah. So, like I said, Tomcat. He could turn into he's like a werecat, but he could do it like on command. I'm pretty sure it might have been one of those things where it started with like an emotional thing would trigger his transformation.
Like Were Panthers from True Blood.
I mean, kind of, because he was like an all black kind of like, because that was Ted Grant's costume, right? It was like an all black cat with like, but he had the gray cheeks in his fucking costume, which is so cute. And then Ted Grant would like wrap his wrists because he was a boxer.
Yes.
It's actually like, here's the thing. I'm not selling it by saying it out loud, but like Wildcat has a dope superhero costume.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's pretty good and so simple.
Yes.
So Tomcat would turn into like an actual, essentially a werepanther. And he could control the transformation, but he inherited that from his mother, whose transformation, like I said, I'm pretty sure is like menstrual based. Jesus. If I'm not mistaken. Now, this is where I go fuzzy. I don't remember if they were from like a secret sect of all cat people, or if it was like a witch's curse, or like I don't remember what it was. But yeah, like Tom Bronson, Ted Grant's son, inherited this power, and Ted didn't meet him until way later. And Marilyn was like, I didn't want to burden you or whatever. Like, so it's a son he kind of never got a chance to raise or whatever. But yeah, he went by Tomcat, and he joined the Justice Society for a little bit. I don't know what happened to him. He might have died. I don't quite remember. A couple of Wildcat successors have like not fared well. There's that one, and then there was just like another just straight up boxer who learned about Ted's secret identity and went into this like superhuman fighting ring, and Killer Croc like ripped him to shit and killed him.
Oh wow.
And then Ted had to kind of go avenge him a little bit. Yeah.
Oh, kitty's got claws. Must be that time of the month.
Yeah, I mean, it's not great. I don't love it. Yeah. Just make it the moon. Make it a regular wear thing.
Being a real pussy. Must be that time of the month.
Jesus.
That's insane.
I'm positive that the story wasn't nice.
Yeah.
I'm positive that the story wasn't like, well, see, now I'm actually not positive. I was going to say like we should give them some credit. They made it a thing, but it's like maybe it was shitty. I don't know. I don't remember.
It's always just good to assume that it was shitty.
That's probably fair.
Yeah. You know what would be a good like modern Magic School Bus episode?
What?
If you took the Magic School Bus and then you put it in a block of ice.
Holy shit.
That's right. The next question comes from Iceman Customs.
The Iceman Customs. I hate to break it to you, but there kind of is a Magic School Bus episode like that.
Oh.
Remember when they go through the solar system and Arnold takes his helmet off on Pluto?
Oh, yeah.
Put him in a block of ice.
That's true. Fuck yeah.
Holy shit.
Pimp that ride.
He did it.
Please talk about Tigor from the Omega Men.
Right. So Tigor is a member of the Omega Men. So Tigor is from a different planet. He's a Karnan. He's from the planet Karna. They
didn't call him Carnies?
No, they're not Carnies. No, he's a Karnan.
Surprisingly small hands from Karnan.
That's right. So a quick refresher. The Omega Men are like a group of freedom fighters in the Vega system. The Vega system is a sector that the Green Lanterns do not patrol because they struck a deal with, well, they claimed it was a deal with the Spider Guild. Really, it was a deal with Larfleeze to stay out of the way.
Because what happens in the Vega system stays in the Vega system.
Because it's Vega, baby.
Yeah.
Viva Las Vega. Jesus. So the Karnans basically get wiped out, or almost entirely wiped out, by the Gordanians, who are like a race of kind of like lizard aliens. The Gordanians are sort of Silver Age classic DC alien bad guys. The Gordanians and the Khunds are Khund, are two sort of classic sort of Silver Age alien bad guys of DC. So the thing with Karnans is they are also like werecats, but the other way around. They got to
turn human.
They got to focus to get a more humanoid form.
Sure.
He's still like he's called Tigor.
Yes.
And he's still very obviously like a cat person.
Yes.
But when he is in his regular form, is like a full, like just like feline, right? So the humanoid, like anthropomorphic kind of form is the one he's got to focus on. So it's a kind of the opposite sort of wear transformation a little bit. Never goes like full human. Tigor always looks like a cat. But he's a member of the Omega Men, so he's in there with like Primus and Callista and those characters. He's shown up a bit on Earth, but for the most part, he's an alien, and he has alien adventures. But yeah, he's one of the last Karnans. Like I think most of his species is wiped out by the Gordanians, which is pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's leave Instagram and head on over to Reddit,
where everyone's nice and no one's ever mean.
First question comes from Just Takes One Bad Day 725.
Baby.
Who asks, given how important cats are in Egyptian mythology, are there any cats characters in DC that are tied to Egypt?
Yeah, so we talked about it. So Bast or Bastet.
Yeah.
Bastet shows up in that Dr. Fate book, but Bast shows up in Sandman, I'm pretty sure. There's like a kind of meeting of gods in that, and like Thor is there and some other, like it's a game and joint, right? Like there's always like once at a great age we gather, like Gaiman's stuff is like full of that kind of shit. But there's one of those ones, and Bast is there, and she's like a feline goddess. She looks like a cat, but she's got like a cool jacket and stuff, like that sort of thing. And so she's in Sandman. That's a big one, and that's like specifically like Egyptian goddess. She's the daughter of Ra and Isis.
Nice.
Ra Isis.
Oh my God! Yeah, you thought it was dangerous before.
Yeah.
This time, Isis just feels a little different.
Yeah, Isis hit different.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah, Isis is coming in unprotected.
Yeah, raw. Yeah, call me the sun god because I go raw. These are all good lines.
Yep.
But yeah, so that's the specific Egyptian one is Bast.
All right. Next question from Armory Comics, who asks, is Taki Tani from the
Shazamily?
But it's not. That's not how it's spelled.
Oh, it's almost like maybe I should be the one writing it.
Oh, I'm sorry. This time you did. How do I know which times you do and don't?
You just gotta fucking trust me, man.
Still considered.
You used to trust me.
No, I didn't. Still considered canon, or only in the sense of Earth 5?
So when we talk about Earth 5, also known as Thunder World, Earth 5 is like the Captain Marvel adventures of sort of Fawcett Comics Captain Marvel. Basically pre-Crisis Captain Marvel. Mm-hmm. Anything that featured Captain Marvel pre-Crisis is Earth 5. Or it was previously called Earth S. And it's that's like the Fawcett Comics, basically. This question comes from in the New 52 with Shazam. Taki Tani wasn't like the tiger wearing a suit that he was beforehand. He was just like they made him more kind of like grounded, sort of like he's just a tiger in the park kind of thing that like Billy talks to or whatever.
Sure.
But Taki Tani definitely still exists. We think of all these continuity things we've gone through. We've basically said that like New 52 happened, but also the stuff that happened before happened, and we're mixing it all together. Taki Tani is in fucking Final Crisis. Taki Tani fights Calabac, who is in a tiger body. He's reincarnated in a tiger body. And Taki Tani fucking fights him. He's got a jetpack and a nice tweed suit and shit. He's in Final Crisis. So, yeah, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Taki Tani is out there. I mean, he's probably also been shown. And if he hasn't, he almost certainly is about to be. Mark Waid is writing the current Shazam book, I'm pretty sure. There's no way Taki Tani's not going to show up in that.
Wow.
But yeah, so that character, he was always he was like a helper of Captain Marvel, friend to Billy, and yeah, he was like this very erudite, like talking tiger. But yeah, I would say it almost 100% definitively he's still canon. Yeah.
All right. Next question comes from Draco Folly, who asks, how human do you think the cheetah should appear? Mutant cat person? lady in a cat suit or some weird Thundercat hybrid like in the movie?
Listen, you know how I feel about cat ladies.
The more cat, the better.
Yeah, we gotta.
As long as it's got fuck me eyes.
Listen, if there's a tail in the way, I'm in. No,
oh, Jesus. What a tale you'll tell.
Tale as old as time.
Pretty sure it's a crime.
Let me fuck this beast. Jesus. So what they're talking about is
see her breast. Pretty sure the rest is hair.
Jesus Christ.
I'd like to go. Maybe I'd like to go there.
I love like the real. You got like a real like Who's line cadence to
yes,
musical improv.
Yep, absolutely.
The thing that they're talking about is that the cheetah was not always like a cat-like humanoid.
Yes.
So that Barbara Minerva version, that's like from Crisis on Infinite Earths onward. Before that, there were two versions of the cheetah, both of whom were just ladies in a cheetah costume.
Sure.
So the first one, her name is, Priscilla Rich. And she has like a split personality thing. And she goes like, oh yes, I'm a cheetah. And she like puts on this thing. She tries to frame Wonder Woman for some fucking stupid ass crime and shit like that. But she has like, it's like a split personality. She puts on this cat suit and it unlocks this sort of ferocious side of her. And she's like, I'm the cheetah. And that's it.
Sure.
The second one, whose name I don't fully remember, it's like Debbie or something. It's another alliterative name though. It's like Debbie Donovan or whatever. She's connected to Priscilla Rich somehow, but again, she's just
Debbie does Calico.
She's just a woman in a cat suit. So like they wear the suit and you see a human face and then there's little cat ears on top. It's not until Barbara Minerva and the post-crisis thing and that story with like Urzkartaga and stuff like that that we get this kind of like cat person version of the cheetah. And that's the one that like we've stuck with now. Like even for a bit there was a male cheetah. Like he made this guy Sebastian Ballesteros made a deal with Urzkartaga that he would be a better champion. And so he got the cheetah powers for a bit until Barbara Minerva beat him and took them back or whatever. But that's the version that we're in with now. Is that it's the version I prefer too, and not for the gross joke of it all. I just think it's more interesting. Like,
yeah,
the old like ones, you know, they just put on a costume, but like there's no reason for it. Like Catwoman is called Catwoman because she's a cat burglar.
Yes.
Right? Like
yes.
In her first adventure, there's barely cat motifs, right?
Yeah.
She's a cat burglar. That's where it comes from. In this one that I'm talking about with Priscilla Rich, she like literally looks in a mirror and she goes, "Oh, I'm dangerous. I'm the cheetah." And you go, "Have they talked about any of this?"
Yeah,
no, nothing. It's not like someone throws like a gaudy jumpsuit through the window and she goes, "Yes, father, I shall become a cheetah." Like there's no inciting incident
it's not
for
super
it.
fast or like
To be honest, the Urzkartaga thing, the connection to the cheetah is dubious at best because Urzkartaga is a plant god.
Weird.
But it's just supposed to be like jungle, right? So your champion or your warden has this other kind of jungle kind of ferocity sort of thing or whatever. But it's so much more interesting, especially because, you know, Barbara's story, it's changed a bit. There have been some retcons, but it was like that the curse, like she got cursed, like the transformation went wrong.
Yes.
And it's like the initial one is kind of problematic because it was like she was, quote, impure, meaning she wasn't a virgin.
Oh,
so instead of just getting all these great powers, it would cause her pain if she was ever in human form and she had this bloodlust or whatever when she was in cheetah form. That's all been retconned now, but it's a better visual to be a cat person.
Yeah.
She has actual powers as a cat person, so she's a better threat to Wonder Woman. And I mean, I also like her on this kind of anti-hero thing that she's been on, but in general, that's just a more interesting choice than like a random lady in a cat suit.
Totally.
Because the other ones weren't even like, they weren't like Selena, like amazing, you know, climbers. They just would put on a suit and like end of list. Like
also like to be like a good villain for Wonder Woman, it can't just be a person with a costume. Yeah, like
you would think. Yeah, exactly.
All right, next question from Eldritch Slut, who asks,
cool.
What feline do we deserve to see more of, and why is it Lotion the cat?
Yeah, Lotion the cat is a cute little kitty cat from the Doom Patrol.
Okay.
Belongs to Casey Brink. So we've talked about Casey Brink, aka Space Case. She's the fictional character Danny created in an issue of Danny Comics that then got brought to life.
Why is it called Lotion?
Just the name of the cat. It's just a cat, as far as I recall. It's not like an alien. It's not a person that turned into a cat. I'm pretty sure it's just a cat. It's just Lotion the cat. It's just a little kitty. It's just a little kitty.
Yeah, not the title of your sex tape with Nala.
It's like my phone like autocorrects sexts to my wife, so I just say like, put Lotion the cat.
When I get home,
it's not quite what I was trying to tell her.
Yeah, when I come home, you better lotion the cat, if you know what I mean.
Get a lotion. It puts the lotion on the cat,
or else it gets the hose again.
Yeah. Anyway,
so what feline do we deserve?
Oh, sorry,
more of?
right. The actual question.
Yes.
Which feline do we deserve more of? Or cat-themed character.
Yeah, baby.
Bronze Tiger. We don't see a lot of Bronze Tiger. Great martial artist, and sort of in among the ranks of like Shiva, The Question, Batman, like the ones that kind of like go to Nanda Parbat and train, or the ones that are trained with like O-Sensei and stuff like that. Richard Dragon, like in with kind of all those. Bronze Tiger's a great martial artist, cool kind of character. That'd be a neat one. I like Cheshire, who, the assassin and poison master, who is the mother of Leon Harper with Roy, Green Arrow's former sidekick, Arsenal. I like Cheshire. It'd be cool to see more Cheshire. I mean, we have Leon back in comics, and she goes by Cheshire Cat, which is fun and cute. Who else do we not see a ton of that is cat themed? I like Tigor, but he kind of, to me, only really works with the Omega Men. I think he was in a different book for a bit in the New 52 with Deathstroke or something. Like maybe it was, is that fucking Team 7? Maybe I can't remember, but I think Tigor kind of only works with the Omega Men, or like in a space sort of thing. So
sure.
Maybe like in a Green Lantern book or some shit like that, you'd see Tigor. That'd be kind of cool. Yeah, I mean those are probably the ones I want to see more of, because we see lots of the Cheetah, we see lots of Catwoman. Yeah. Do you have any to throw in there, or? I mean, I guess Wildcat, because I like the Justice Society.
Yeah, I think I'd like more like. Good question. Probably some more Dexter.
Dexter is always fun.
Yeah, I think that's probably a character that I always like. Yeah.
I'm not being very definitive, but like it'd be cool to see Catman as well. I mean, I loved Secret Six. It's such a good book. Catman's great in that one. But again, that's a kind of context thing. I'm not sure how interested I am in seeing Catman not with the Secret Six.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
All right. Next question from Armpit, the hero.
How dare you? He moved to Reddit, started a new life.
Kept the name, though.
But that past, just, you can't outrun your past.
Who asks, since Tamaranian ancestors were feline, what feline traits do they have in present times?
That is canon. So Tamaran, the planet that Coriander, that Starfire is from, they descended from a feline race.
Weird.
Which is not as crazy when you remember that the Karnans, Tigor's people, they're also in the Vega system. So The Tamaranians originated on Okara and then went to Tamaran. And then elsewhere in the system, there are the Karnans on Karna.
Yeah.
It's not crazy, theoretically, in one system to have two kind of parallel evolutions of feline people. But the Tamaranians have evolved to be more and more humanoid and less feline. I think the descriptions of Starfire, it's usually that you see it like in her eyes.
Sure.
I don't know that the art always conveys that, though.
Sure.
I think it's come up like twice. You know what I mean?
Fair.
Like
So
someone made a choice one time and it's technically still true, but like, you know, like she doesn't really have cat eyes or anything like that. I don't know. I'm not really sure what other thing specifically, but Starfire, you'd be like, well, that's cat-like. You know what I mean?
She moves like cat-like.
I mean, I guess if we're going off the thing of like, how does a cat move, and then you imagine a sexy lady walking. If you do that, then yeah, I guess she moves like a cat. You know what I mean? Like, but if you don't think of cats that way. First of all, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I'm really getting started worried about your cat.
No, my cat's a fucking bitch.
Yeah, and that's not like a thing you're into.
No, I hate my cat. I'm so fucking tired of my goddamn cat ruining my life.
Yeah.
If anybody wants a cat, I'll put her in the mail.
I don't think your wife would be okay with that.
I'm so far past that.
Are you going to do a Psycho thing, or the American Psycho, and put the cat into the ATM machine?
No. I would never be like needlessly cruel to the cat.
You said you were going to mail the cat.
Nicely. There's bubble wrap.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I do just leave the door open like a little bit longer every day as I leave for work.
I noticed that.
Just to see. At any rate, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. If that's how you think of cats, then yeah, I guess by that logic. If you think of the way Catwoman walks and you go, that's a cat trait, ? Then you go,
sure.
Yeah, I guess that's a remaining Tamaranian cat trait.
Fur.
You know?
Sure.
Fur?
I was hoping you weren't going to catch that.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's move on.
Sure.
Which means we're going to the doc scored. Doc scored. Meow. Doc scored.
I don't know any fucking songs.
You don't know any songs?
I don't know any songs.
You're constantly singing in your car. I see it all the time.
Yeah.
So,
what am I singing?
What are you singing all the time? Wow, this is a great high energy episode.
Just give me a fucking second.
We've got way too many seconds at this point.
1 second is all I want. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
Because we are living in a doc-scored world, and I am a doc-scored girl.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Oh, and we are doxing in a doc-scored world, and I scored like a doc-scored girl.
Why are you bleeding from your ears?
Man, that was oof.
All right. First question comes from Rear Admiral Chunkman, who asks, was there ever an origin story for Catwoman that was similar / the same as what happened in Batman Returns?
Right. In Batman Returns, she gets pushed out a window and falls out of a skyscraper and lands on the ground.
Cats like
and a bunch of cats lick her back to life.
And then she's...
Ladies.
Yeah, I usually do the reverse. Lick a cat back to life.
Oh, sorry. I was like, lick them to death?
I mean,
yeah, cool, man. I'm fucking sure you did. Someone's a little full of themselves, I think. Yeah. Full of something. Let's see. Catwoman, I am positive there's pick an Elseworlds thing. There must be one where it's like she has actual cat powers, but for the most part, Selena has always been a cat burglar. Sometimes with cat characters, there you get that vague 9 lives thing. Now, that's in Batman Returns, that she has 9 lives. But they play it a little coy. Like, obviously something weird happens where she doesn't die when she falls out of that fucking building.
Yes.
But other than that...
Yeah, they don't really, like, revisit the mortality thing.
You know, like, when her lives are spent, it's like, one is like she falls off a building into a truck full of sand. And it's like, I guess maybe that would kill someone, but it's also like all the movie imagery is like you could survive that.
Yes.
But that's like a life gone. When at the end with Max Schreck, he like shoots her once and she's like 4. Like, you don't see her die and come back.
Sure.
She's counting down with these like major injuries and then like does the kiss with the taser and shit like that. So the movie plays a little like something was interesting, but how much? And, you know, is it more belief than anything? Like, there's that kind of shit in there. The Catwoman movie gives her powers.
Yes.
Vaguely Egyptian powers.
/ basketball
powers. But not the power of editing.
No. Return to our commentary track.
Jesus. Good Lord. That's the second worst cat-based movie you made me watch on the Double Dose.
Love that you can say that.
But yeah, I mean, surely at some point, because it's happened with Wildcat as well, they did a thing where it's like, you've got 9 lives. How real that is, or how much magic it is, or how much it's like a little narrative thing, who knows? But for the most part, Selina has a mostly intact, like, not super power thing. Mm-hmm. She's a cat burglar. She's great at what she does. She's acrobatic. She's got the whip and all that kind of shit. I don't think they ever made the mainline DC line up to Batman Returns. I'll say that pretty definitively. I don't think she's ever had like real cat powers, but you'll see her like talk to cats, or there's sometimes that she's had trained cats.
Sure.
There's all sorts of weird ass shit, but it very seldom is it supernatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question from crewman third class Dan, who asks, how does Gail Simone's rehabilitations of Catman rank among DC characters' trajectories for you? Would you live with lions to get a 6-pack?
Yeah, so again, Catman was a crook, a criminal.
Yeah.
But not necessarily a supervillain in the maniacal sense. And then, so in the Secret Six book, I think comes out of he has decided to go live with lions, and he's like in the way that like Wolverine lived with whatever. He didn't actually live with Wolverines, but didn't he live with wolves or something in one of the movies?
Oh, maybe.
At any rate, you know, like some kind of thing like that. But yeah, he was like living with lions, and it was supposed to like it was supposed to imply that it enhanced his sort of physical prowess and stuff like that. When the Secret Society of Supervillains is recruiting during Infinite Crisis, or in the lead up to Infinite Crisis, Catman turns them down. But then he ends up roped into a Secret Six group. And I believe that Mockingbird was sort of the secret leader, that like the Bosley that gives Secret Six their missions. Mockingbird ended up being Alexander Luthor. So I think it was like he turned them down, and then Luthor found a way to rope him in anyway, if I'm not mistaken. But his anti-hero turn is more that he just kind of developed like some compassion and care for the other people in the Secret Six. You know, they're all kind of press gang to a certain degree into those things. But unlike the Suicide Squad, the Secret Six really have like a family dynamic. The best Secret Six mostly like they're living in a house. It's almost like the real world or something like that, all these characters.
Sure.
And you see these weird kind of personal dynamics or different sides of characters you never saw before. You see such a gentle side of Bane in Secret Six. It's amazing.
Sure,
but Catman has a whole thing like that too. You know, you really see a different side of Thomas Blake. You see a side of him that maybe sees his own potential or a desire to do a little bit of good. He's, you know, in that kind of snart way. I think there's some connections between the portrayal of Thomas Blake and the portrayal of Leonard Snart. But the difference is that Snart, I think, is more inclined to still be a crook than Catman is. I think Catman he'd just go off grid, whereas Captain Cold would be like, I could hit one more bank.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a lot of similarities that you could play with there. So everything that we've ever talked about with Leonard Snart and his hero turn and the thing that he believes in, you could just amp up the sort of idea of like seeing a better version of yourself or wanting a better version of yourself, wanting to be better. You amp that up a little bit and you get Catman, essentially. And yeah, I mean, that's all Simone's doing. Like that run like redefines that character who is otherwise mostly a joke. You know, he ended up on a team called the Misfits with Killer Moth and shit like that, like other kind of joke villains. But Gail Simone like gave him real depth, made him a real interesting character and a sort of patriarch and a sort of mentor and leader to other kind of wayward souls that would find their way to or around the Secret Six. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you haven't read Simone's Secret Six, I mean, do it. There's a couple of runs of it. They're both, or they're all good. But yeah, I mean, Catman's essentially the main character of those books.
I think the second part of that question is probably directly tied to your joke. Open casket, open shirt, baby.
Oh, yeah. God, to get abs? Yeah, absolutely.
But you would also die.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. The trick is to get the abs first.
Yeah. And then get eaten by lions.
Love it.
All right, next question from JK, who asks...
a lion I'd want to eat.
All right. Between...
Can you feel the love tonight?
Could have been a song you chose.
Fuck. Son of a bitch.
Between the Rebirth Rucka and Conrad Clunan runs on Wonder Woman, we've seen Cheetah go down a nobler path. Do you think she works in a more anti-hero spot, or should she stay a villain? Could any of the other iterations of Cheetah be better than villain? Or be a better villain, sorry.
Oh, the other versions... Well, sorry. The two Lady in a Catsuit versions could not be a better villain than Barbara Minerva.
Yeah.
Sebastian Ballesteros is probably a better villain, but I don't think that was ever going to be very long-lasting.
Sure.
But he was definitely more maniacal, a worse villain, you know, kind of thing. The thing with Barbara Minerva, and again, you know, the context of like the canonicity of certain things has changed. You know, we've had some retcons to the origin of Cheetah's powers, the reason for her powers. She's not actually a champion of Earth's Cartaga. She's a warden. She has the powers to keep him contained, not to serve him. Mm-hmm. But I think we've also done away with the idea that her impurity was part of the curse. I think we've retconned out that piece. However, I think it's still worth mentioning that she has these powers that are essentially a curse that made her monstrous, whether or not it was tied to her virginity or anything like that. And it's like the powers of a male god have done this to her. Sure. She's kind of shackled one way or the other. Whether she's the jailer or the servant, she's still kind of shackled to him. And so I think it's inevitable in many ways for that character to have the anti-hero turn, because she is a victim, you know, in the way that Two-Face is a victim. And it's inevitable, no matter how many bad things or horrific crimes or whatever, Harvey's in there, you know?
Yeah.
And Barbara's in there. And every time we explore that, especially in these kind of, this sort of modern Rucka, Conrad Clunan stuff, Barbara is more interesting as an uneasy ally. And it's not uneasy in like the way Black Manta is, where like at any moment he's just going to be like, this is my opportunity to stab you in the back.
Yeah.
But it's just uneasy in that like she doesn't trust, and she's been hurt too much, and there's a lot of wounds in those relationships and that. And here's the other thing. With Wonder Woman, more than any other character, this should be the trajectory. What better proof of the premise of Wonder Woman, of compassion, of truth, of of belief in kind of the fundamental good and spirit of people, and a spirit of willing help and openness and stuff like that. The logical extension of that is like your villains, they got to come around. Not all of them. Ares doesn't have to come around. A, he's a god of war. He's like a thing.
Yes.
B, he's a dude. Dr. Psycho doesn't have to come around. He's a misogynist. He doesn't have to, you know what I mean? Like, you got some villains that aren't going to go anywhere. But a villain like Cheetah or a villain like Silver Swan, characters who are victims, who misinterpret, either misinterpret or have experienced a lack of compassion or lack of care from Wonder Woman, who then receive it ultimately, and there's some sort of like forgiveness kind of thing. That makes sense. It makes more sense for Wonder Woman than it does for Batman. If Batman can fucking have that shit with Poison Ivy or with Two-Face or with whatever, then it would be outrageous for Wonder Woman to not have rehabilitated villains, you know? And I think that's not to say I want to see every villain for every character rehabilitated, but this is a thing serialized comics are coming up against, and especially in DC, especially with a character like Superman or Wonder Woman or whatever, is like, or Flash. Eventually, you know, they all mostly have to come around if that's the type of hero you are and you're trying to prove that's right. It's the same thing in Star Trek. Eventually, the Klingons aren't the bad guys. Eventually, the Cardassians aren't the bad guys. Eventually, the Romulans, like every villain eventually has to come around and be an ally if you're going to prove that your philosophy works.
Yeah.
It might take a long time. There might be relapses. It might be uneasy. It might be treacherous. And I think all of that makes for some interesting storytelling with Barbara. But ultimately, we've gone through so many iterations of this that for her to be in this kind of anti-hero position now, it's more than earned. It's not like this is like someone just decided.
Yeah.
And we got to team up with your bad guy. It's not like that. Like, she's earned that position. You know, I feel the same way about the Metallo arc that just happened in Action Comics with Superman. Like, Metallo is still many steps away from being a member of the Superman family, but he's finally on the path. He's on the path to try to redeem himself, to try to do better, to be less monstrous, to atone for crimes, and I mean, I'm a big fan of that stuff. So,
yeah. All right, last question from Mullet of Gales.
Volk,
who asks, in JLA, Morrison establishes that Wildcat actually has 9 lives,
right?
Which is the reason he isn't geriatric. Is this still the case with him, and how many of them has he burned?
I don't think it is still the case with him, but the Justice Society, we're only kind of just getting a handle on where they're at again.
Sure.
And Wildcat has not been a big part of that. We've seen Alan Scott, we've seen some Jake Garrick, we've seen a bit with like Hawkman and Hawkwoman, but that was also back in time a bit. We haven't seen a ton with Ted. So I don't 100% know. I suspect though that no, we are not doing the 9 lives thing. As for that was the reason he's not geriatric. I mean, with the Justice Society, you barely need a reason. You know what I mean?
Truly.
Like, between like they were trapped in a pocket dimension, and then Extant, you know, fucked with time, and then, you know, someone got caught per Degaton. You know, like all these time villains or things like that, or Magic did it or whatever. There's always some reason, and they move in and out of like, while Alan Scott got younger, Ted Knight, Starman got super old, and that's where that Starman series takes place. Is he's super old now, but during that time, Alan Scott was de-aged. He was Sentinel. He was like in his 20s again. With the Justice Society, you could do whatever the fuck you want to their ages. You barely need a reason. So the idea of having to add this whole like 9 lives thing, while I don't necessarily hate the idea, it's also like we have such a litany of excuses for the Justice Society to be whatever age they're at that it's kind of silly to look at it and be like, well, we have to explain this. It's like can't it just be another Per Degaton time ray or another extant chronosphere or like whatever?
Sure.
Like, you know what I mean? We don't spend this much time on Jay Garrick. We just kind of go, Speed Force.
Sure.
So for Ted, you just go like, magic. I guess that's essentially what the 9 Lives thing is, but I don't know. It just seems a little like no. I would just question like who was questioning it.
Yeah.
Especially someone like Morrison, like their whole thing is like it's a comic book. Who gives a shit? No one like it's a comic book. Nobody puts air in the tires of the Batmobile. And I kind of feel that way, like, especially with the Justice Society, you just assume like something happened and they're whatever age they are. So they could look 40, they've been around since 1940. Or
sure.
Like it kind of doesn't matter anymore, you know?
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, that was the last question.
There you go.
We would love to hear from you residents. Send us a question for next week's episode.
You've been doing so good, baby. Keep going.
Okay. Next week's episode's theme is major fuck-ups. Characters that fuck up, writers that fuck up.
Oh, like maybe like continuity mistakes.
Yeah, continuity mistakes.
But also like a big gaffe. Batman thinks he saved the day, but he made things worse.
Yeah, big fuck-ups.
Fuck-ups episode.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll nail it.
Yeah.
I don't see any issues with this.
I can't imagine a single one.
Fuck-ups episode. Interesting. I like it.
Gaffes, mistakes.
Maybe we should get Alex Gaffey on.
Whoa. I mean, truly, yeah, he'd be great for that.
Except he doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Not like I do.
Nope.
I'm so fucking stupid.
So send your questions about mistakes in the DC universe.
I love it.
You can reach out to us through our various social media platforms.
Dr. DC Podcast on Facebook, Threads, and Instagram, at Dr. DC on TikTok, r/Dr_DC on Reddit. You can send us an email to drdcpodcast@gmail.com. Visit our website, drdcpodcast.com or .ca. Give us a 5-star review. We love them.
Doc phone is always open.
Oh, yeah. 208-917-3238.
That's 208-917-DCEU if you're nasty. Also, if you want to give us some money, you can get some content in return.
That's right.
Our Patreon.
Patreon.com/DrDC. There's a $1, $5, and $7 level. They all give you access to the Doc Squad, our amazing Discord fan community. At the higher levels, you get bonus episodes, the double dose. Right now it's Eatgist. We're going through kind of geek fare.
Food, yeah.
And we're doing that this month. And then at the highest tier, you get theme pools and a bunch of extra content. Right now, you get a weekly mini-series called Bonding Time, where me and my wife are going through every James Bond movie. We've done 3 so far. This week, Thunderball is the one that we're doing.
Is your wife enjoying these?
Yeah. She's enjoying the movies way more than she enjoys recording with me.
It's less about the time with you that she wants and more of the movie.
Yeah, 100%. She basically agreed to watch the movies, and then she's like, oh, fuck, we gotta do this. Yep. Only 22 movies to go.
Oof. Yeah, she's really tied down, more like bondage. Wow.
Put on this Nala mask.
Jesus Christ. It was one thing for it was Black Canary, but now this is a whole other level.
Be prepared.
Oh no. Everything I touches is mine.
Jesus.
So we got a whole other podcast.
Sorry, I got one more bad pun here. Gonna Hakuna those tatas.
Holy shit.
I'm really sorry.
Don't be. That's great.
Oh, God.
That's incredible.
Pride cock, is that a thing?
Jesus Christ. All right. So if you like what we do on this podcast, you might like what we do on our other podcast, Ghost Facers, a supernatural rewatch where we go through every single episode of CW Supernatural. We're in season 7. We're almost at the end. We're literally episodes away from the end of season 7, getting into season 8, which means Kyle Clark coming back on, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
Very,
baby.
very exciting. So you want to subscribe to that podcast and check it out. Also, I'm going to be on This Is Rad on Monday.
Very nice.
Yeah, so
Nice.
check that out.
Oh, so that's why our scheduling got moved. Huh. Interesting. Okay.
I believe I changed the schedule for your schedule last week.
This is different. It's not about me.
It's yeah.
Yeah. This doesn't help me.
Yeah, this isn't about my friend, it's about your friend.
Yeah.
That's it for this week.
Adios.
Ciao, ciao.
They always fight for what is right. Live with danger and adventure, they are men of might.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.